As we start talking about improvements, rule number 4, to our activities, connections, and flows, rules 1 through 3, we want to start thinking about where do we engage with that improvement work? Do we solve the big problems that we see in the organization or the many, many small ones? Most organizations jump straight to the big ones. If I'm going to solve one problem today, I might as well make it worth my while. Unfortunately, that's probably not the most successful approach. Truly lean organizations have an appreciation and tolerance for solving the many, many small problems that exist along the way. The first reason this is true is that solving smaller problems engages more people. I build the capability of the organization, I enlighten them, I empower them. If I'm solving 3 big problems at the top of the Pareto chart, there's only so many people that I can involve. The only way to solve 1,000 more smaller problems is to engage more of the organization. And so having an appreciation and focus on solving everyday small problems requires that I go and engage the bulk of the organization. I engage every person as an opportunity to be a scientist to improve through experimentation. The second reason that small problems and small improvements are so valuable is that it gives us an opportunity to build skill, to practice. If you've ever been to a youth baseball game, you might see a player swing the bat 6 or 9 or maybe 12 times. Instead, go to the batting cages and you might swing it 60 or 90 times. There's a whole lot more opportunity to build skill and refine your practice with those many repetitions. The same thing is true of problem solving and improvement. If I get an opportunity to solve 10 problems, I've gotten to exercise that muscle 10 times. If in the same time period I only solved 1 problem, I exercised the muscle once. We build strength, we build skill, we build capability by solving many problems over time. The smaller we make the problems, the more times we get to exercise the muscle. The third reason that solving small problems is so important is that most of our future big problems are today small problems in our organization that are waiting to become big problems. If you see a trip hazard, one time you might stumble, the next time you might fall, and the time after that you might actually incur an injury. Well, I can wait till I incur an injury to solve that problem, or I can solve it before it becomes that big problem. Whether it's missed standard work that results in a customer escape, or a gap in a process that no one notices until we miss to the customer. Most of our big problems existed first as small problems. The more adept we get at solving our small problems, the more progress we make on our future big problems. The fourth and perhaps most important reason that working on many small improvements is more effective than one big one is that most of our big problems can't be solved by that one big solution that doesn't come along very often. If we have a big budget gap, there aren't many levers big enough to close it by itself, compared to the many small cost leaks that we can fix along the way. If we have a customer escape in terms of bad quality, no big swing of the bat is going to fix that as much as many improvements to our process to clean up our quality. Most of our big gaps are best solved by making many improvements on a smaller scale. So instead of spending the next 6 months finding the best way to apply the 4 rules on the biggest problem you can, take the next opportunity that comes across your path and go make that improvement.